Greetings Commanders, my name is Eagle and welcome back to the weekly arena video. In this video we are going to give you this week's arena. As you can see, this week's arena we have actually some rocket launcher buffs. We have their firing range has been increased by 2 grids. Additionally, their firepower has increased by 200%. So to know exactly what are the defensive and offensive formations and how to beat your opponents in this week's arena, make sure to watch the video till the end. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's start by talking about the defense formation. As you can see, this is my defense for this week's formation. We have the super heavies and the heavy tanks in the front line. The reason why we didn't use infantry is because this buff over here for artilleries actually melts infantry, so it's not good at all to use them in your defensive formations. However, sometimes you can actually use them in your offensive formations, and we will show you exactly how to do that to beat your opponents. However, in terms of your backline, you will need to use your ATGs, your tank hunters, and your artillery as well, to counter all types of units that might encounter you in your defense. Additionally, I believe this front line is actually pretty solid. The officer distribution, as you can see, this is the following officer distribution. You can definitely do some minor changes in terms of officer combinations. So for example, you can put Guardian of Truth in your front line on your heavy lane and then move that to the back. So there are multiple other things that you can do in order to change that, but generally speaking, I do like this formation right here. You can do a couple of tweaks, as I said, to the officer formations, depending on what officers you're actually focusing on and how high their level are. But right now, this is basically the units formation that I believe is the best right now to use for defense. However, right now, let's talk about offense. And we have actually fought a couple of battles over here. Unfortunately, we lost the last one because their troops were really strong. As you can see right now, they are of the 9th power grade over here. And that actually made us lose. There's like kind of a massive power difference between 8 and 9 power grades. So even though the power difference isn't that much, like it was about 1.2 million, which is still a big difference, my placement in this battle was really good. However, I still lost it because of the power difference is very, very big. And his kind of like super heavy tanks as well over here are very very strong. He's really focusing on his spanner. He has them at a really high level, and that's why we actually lost this fight. But we fought someone who is actually exactly our power, and this is exactly the fight that we're going to show you. This guy is very similar to our power, and we completely dominated the fight. So let's take a look at what happened over here. So as you can see, the placement of my infantry was at the bottom right, and even though usually their artilleries would in that case target the infantry, but because of the 2 grid bonus, they will not actually do that. So my infantry ended up on a really good position, and even though my ATGs didn't join the fight for some reason, it bugged out and it didn't join the fight until the kind of last second over there, but right now they are in the fight, and their ATGs or their artilleries are right now melting my infantry, but I've already kind of took down their whole arsenal and right now focusing on their back line, and this is basically how you win this war. We'll talk a little bit more about infantry positioning and how to position it perfectly, but right now you can see over here that you can always position your infantry to the right side if their artilleries are on the left side on either grid. So for example, their artilleries, if we go back to our defense formation, their artilleries were exactly like this, in this position over here. So when their artilleries are in this position or this position right over here, then you can place your infantry on the other side, on this side, right, basically opposite side to this one over here. And this way you will be able to actually counter their artillery and your infantry will not be focused by them. Of course, you have to have your super heavy tank or maybe a heavy tank on the other side so that you can actually take on some damage while your infantry tanks the units on the left side. This way you will have 3 3 tanks or 3 units in the backside dealing a lot of damage while your infantry and super heavy tanks are tanking the whole fight. So as you can see, this is one way that you can win and get to the highest points of the arena. I hope this guide did really help you. If you have more formations or you want to share your formation with the community, leave these in the comment below. And if you did like this video, make sure to throw a like down there. It does help out a lot. And maybe subscribe to the channel. That will also help a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll definitely see you on the next video. Bye bye.